You guys good?
No, lead us.
Questionable coming into the night. Obviously, you felt good enough to play and provide that spark. What was the key early on when you guys got off to a slow start? The bench comes in and obviously sparks things.
It's just kind of our thing. We want to really take pride in being that energy booster for our team. And so, when we see the first unit, whether they're going good or things are going slow, regardless, we want to just take that energy up to that next level.
To talk about a little bit, kind of doing their part. You've done obviously that off the bench, but tonight with Nico getting his 29, and I know he's been trying to find his game. How good is it to see your teammate have that kind of night when you know he's kind of been going through it and working hard to get there?
He should have had 30, man. Should have had 30. No, I'm just kidding. Really happy for him. He's been playing great, working so hard, and he's due for a night like that. And he's really a guy that can bring this team to the next level. Just keep continuing to feed confidence into him. And he's an incredible player, and he showed that tonight.
We've talked so much about this offense and everything you've gotten to, but everybody getting involved, how pivotal has that been, the balance that you're seeing night in and night out?
It's great. It's an offense where it can be anybody's night. Tonight it was Nico. Nico was the guy. Ball was finding him. He was attacking, capitalizing on all his opportunities. And some nights it's not. Sometimes it's somebody else. And when you have offense like this, it really can be anybody's night. And we all buy into that, and we're all happy for guys when it is their night. So it's great.
Can you just kind of talk about the work that you put in today? Spo was just saying at 3 p.m. you weren't cleared to play, but obviously you were really focusing on getting back in there. Can you just kind of talk about the effort getting back out there?
I woke up, feeling a little sore. Was on the ice, game ready. Came in pretty early to get worked on, and just kept pushing. Went up on the practice court, was doing running and stuff, and was on the underwater treadmill, just doing really anything I could to just get my body in the best position possible to play. And after I did some of my shooting, I felt like I was good to go.
What would you attribute as the main reason you guys were able to slow them down in the half court?
I think just getting stops when it mattered. That's the easiest way to slow any team down, is getting stops and push in the other end.
Lastly from me, when you guys were down 15-3, what was that huddle like?
The huddle was, we just got to get our stuff together. I thought we had great looks on the basket. None of our shots were really falling. But we just said stick with our game plan, and, we're going to be all right.
They're solely playing European-style basketball with this incredible pace. What's it like to be out there? You've been with the Heat and slow ball now for 3 years, to be playing this back and forth, and finding a way to win. What's this experience been like for you?
I thought, it was going to be a lot easier. I would have lied if I said that last 2 weeks were easy, because I felt like everything I did was wrong, and that I was not helping this team at all. And I want to thank coaches and everybody from the team. Kind of keep supporting me and letting me know that I'm important for the team. But my head just wasn't there. I didn't know how to help the team, and like I said, I thought everything I did was wrong. And but you can see the way it makes everybody looks better. Not just me, but everybody else too. It's an easy way to play basketball, and I think it suits us really good because we don't have the guy, we don't have the guy who needs the ball a lot, who needs a really high usage, and that's what helps us. So I feel like we just play for each other, and I feel like that's the right way to play this sport.
Nico, it seemed early on, especially the first couple of games of preseason, that you had actually taken really quickly to this system in a way. I'm curious, and then you got hurt and you missed a couple of preseason games. Was there a point or what happened where you think you started making what you called bad decisions on bad decisions instead of early on?
I don't know. I really don't know where it came from. I really don't know how to explain it. Mentally, I wasn't good, Physically, I felt bad, I feel like everything I did was wrong, like I said. But it just came out of nowhere, and you could see through the games. I just wasn't helping myself. I looked worse and worse, and it's obvious that I wasn't playing great basketball. But for me, the most important thing is to win. So I guess, winning, won some of the games, so it helped. But, if you want to win, you got to win a lot more. So, yeah, hopefully, I'll play better, and hopefully I'll help these guys and this team, win as many games as possible.
Nico, looking at tonight, obviously a career high for you. And can you just kind of talk about what was working for you tonight, especially when it comes to scoring, rebounding, having assists? What was working tonight?
I think not relying on, just myself and kind of letting the flow of the game help me get my rhythm. And because the way we play, it should be that way. I should be getting ball on random possessions, random cuts, getting some easy points, and that's what I did. My team has got me going, and it's as simple as that. You just, I feel like I gotta change the style of play, especially in a half-court basketball a little bit, and I think that's it.
Nico, when you came in, you played pretty much the rest of the half, and in that first half, just being a rhythm player, being a confident type player, is that longer stint, those longer stretches, do you think help you kind of get into that rhythm compared to maybe those shorter stints when you're kind of coming in and out?
That's a good question. I mean, I haven't thought about it, I think for sure you want to be on the court as long as possible, but also sometimes, let's say today, at one point I felt too tired, but I didn't want to ask for a sub because, I don't want to get out. But it for sure helps staying on the court because you feel like coaches believe in you, and you feel like you're doing something right. So, as long as I'm playing a lot of minutes, I'm good and I'm happy. I know I'm doing something right.
As a tough player from Balkans, I saw you tonight playing almost in all 5 positions. Do you like it?
I don't think it really matters, I don't. If I like it or not. The good thing is, I guess, sometimes I know how to do it, and I helped my team win today, and that's the most important thing. It really doesn't matter which position I play. And my first 2 years here, it was hard playing 5, but I'm taking advantage of it now. I think we look really good defensively, when we can switch everything, and so I think playing every position is not easy, but I feel like when you know how to do it, it can be really, really helpful. Thank you, guys.
Norm, this game always shows how things really can change night to night. So last night, you guys in the first quarter couldn't miss. Everything is perfect, off to the races. What was it like starting tonight, the team 1 of 15 from the field, and doing the opposite, you being the team that had to battle your way back into the game?
I think y'all jinxed us, Somebody was talking about my hot starts in the first quarter and stuff like that, then I couldn't make a shot the second night. It's a back-to-back. They had the night off, no excuses, but just to start, I thought we were, all of us, kind of sluggish, running in mud a little bit. We got good looks, but they just weren't dropping. So I thought the second unit did a great job of coming in and providing energy, getting out and kind of steadying the ship for us as we were able to get our legs underneath us in that starting unit and come back and make some plays. But, that's the beauty of this game. It's a team game, relying on each other, picking each other up, to make plays. And when guys are struggling a little bit, we got a deep team where we can put 5 guys out there and produce off that bench. And they've done a great job all year long, steadying the ship and pushing the leads and bringing that energy.
Norm, Spo was just saying, when a guy like Nico has a night like this, everybody is kind of feeding into him and helping him into optimal positions to attack. And I know he's hammering spacing, but is there anything beyond spacing that you guys are also doing to help guys like him have nights like that?
For me, talking to them mentally, young guys, they worried about the other things, the missed shots, the turnovers. They get upset when they don't make a play that they feel like they should, shot or pass. They're very selfless guys, but they get down on themselves a little bit, especially Nico. So just staying in his ear throughout the course of the game, before and after. Keeping them positive and not focus on the mistakes. I told him after the first time out, I don't want to see his body language go down when he makes a bad play, turnover, missed shot, or whatever. Like, stay even, kill. It's a long game, and he's too talented for that. And I thought he did a great job tonight, staying with it in attack mode, reading the game, getting to his spots, and making the plays that were in front of him.
Just looking at Davion and Drew, just they combined for 9 steals tonight. Just how crucial have they been defensively, just kind of going under the radar there?
Man, I think they gave, Drew or Davion one of my steals. I should have had 3 or something. I don't know. But they've been great, especially D. Mitch, nickname they got for him is Off Night, and everything he's able to do, pressuring the ball, guarding different guys, blowing up screens, being able to switch and hold his own on bigger guys, being physical. We need that. We need that from him every single night. That point of attack, offensively and defensively, setting guys up, getting into the paint, defensively taking a challenge and guarding their best players and making it difficult for them. And same with Drew. Drew comes in. He just has a nose for the ball. He knows where to be. He's in the right spot at all times. He's playing the passing lanes. He's in the shrink spots, reaching and using his body. He's very smart. He has a high IQ, especially on the defensive end. But we need them to do that every single night, and they've been bringing that and taking the challenge.
Norm, there's a lot of micromanaging in this league, particularly from coaches. When Spo brings the system to you in training camp and basically empowers you guys to make decisions, to attack, what was your initial reaction to that?
I was excited. It's a little different for me from what I've experienced the last 3.5 years when I was with the Clippers, running a play every single time down, getting guys to their spots and attacking mismatches. This one's really just playing in the flow, playing off of one another, playing out of closeouts. I think for me, it plays to my game and my strength. When the ball's swinging, defense is moving, I'm able to catch and go, catch and shoot, and make reads on the second side of the floor. And I think it has everybody locked in because every single play, everybody's live. So, like, you can deny me, you can take me out, but it just opens up the spacing on the floor for other guys to attack and get into the paint and collapse defenses. So I think it keeps opposing teams off balance because we're not running a set play that you can game plan every single time down. It's ball movement, body movement, and it's a lot of fun. It's empowering guys like Nico, Jaime, to bring the ball up and be initiators on offense and guys to play off of them.
Thank you, Norm. I know this is a whole new world with these pace games and the way you're playing and the back and forth tonight, but how different is this world for you, and how comfortable are you all getting in playing this up and down style?
I mean, obviously our guys are getting pretty comfortable with it, embracing the unknown. That was the first thing from the media day, and both teams were attacking. I mean, this was a heck of a basketball game. That team is really improved. So have we. If you're a fan, you probably really enjoyed this game. It was just a lot of high-level basketball going back and forth, and we had to make a lot of plays there at the end. Nico was big, but down the line, I mean, Jaime at 3 o'clock was not cleared to play. I mentioned that to the team. He put himself out there. He spent 3 hours just trying to get his ankle ready. He even skipped the walkthrough just to continue to get treatment. And then he got cleared after that, gave us everything he had. Drew had 4 steals in the first half. It felt like he had 10. He was all over the place, so impactful. And then D. Mitch had 5 steals. They were reckless. They were all over the place. And then Wiggs just continues to be a big moment guy for us. Regardless of what's happening throughout the course of the game, he just hits big shots, important shots. And Kalel gave us some really good minutes. And, yeah, they were super small in the fourth quarter, and then they went big when Grant fouled out. So I was thinking about it, but he gave us really good minutes, and I see that as progress.
Nico scored a career high, but he did so much other stuff, the rebounding, the assists. He had the block shot in the final minutes. What did you like about his game?
I liked his energy. I liked his intent. He was assertive, aggressive on both sides of the court. you can choose to float or you can choose to insert your will on a game, and it's not about like how many points you score. It's about imposing your will on a game, and you felt his will on the game. I gave him a hard time that last ISO. He did a double step back James Harden 3. I would have liked to seen what happened if he imposed his will on that possession. I think that's a growth opportunity. He hasn't been in that situation very often where we just say open and you create a play for us, but I think he would have gotten into the paint and made the right play. But I just like the assertiveness, tonight.
I don't know if it's fair or not to think of the drives in terms of like good shots, good drives, bad drives, but when you have everybody kind of being as aggressive as they were collectively tonight, is there any management that you're doing as far as like who should be doing what and where, or do you just like seeing
I'm managing the heck out of the spacing
Yeah.
and what we're trying to do to open up those drives. Yeah. But I'm not putting the brakes on anybody that's trying to attack. We have to be aggressive. We have to get downhill. I want those guys to be who they are and lean into that. But our spacing and movement is critical.
Coach, obviously you alluded to Khalil and especially the activity getting a little better there late. What did you like about those minutes? And you mentioned kind of not wanting to go maybe a little bigger. Was that kind of not wanting to ruin the momentum of the lineup at the time? Or?
I mean, at any point you can look at that. I mean, we would go up like 5, then they would come storming back. They went with Grant at the 5. So it's, who could blink first. But you have 2 teams that are incredibly versatile. So they went versatile, and we went versatile right back at them. And then it's just a matter of who can make more plays. I almost blinked when Nico got his 5th foul. But Nico was really pivotal and impactful when he was at the 5, for us. But hey, I would have felt fine with Khalil in there too, the way he was playing.
You mentioned the drives in the offense. Jaime and Pella seem to be playing off each other pretty well with just kind of those bully ball attacks. Just how important, I guess, has that been? Has it been surprising at all to see how they've clicked, I guess, together?
Well, they both also can play off the ball, with their cutting and getting behind the defense. So it's a matter of everybody being organized in what we're doing with our spacing. Yeah, they can play off each other. They also can't play off each other if the spacing is wrong, but they've got a good flow with that. I'm not concerned about it at all. I think they complement each other. I think that's really hard to guard when you have somebody that's downhill and the other guy's cutting, and they have that natural kind of chemistry.
Erik, what's been the hardest part about getting guys to understand that they can attack? They have the freedom to attack, that you're not going to pull them back when they do that?
I don't know if it's that difficult. We've I guess you got to be a salesman in this profession, but there hasn't been any fight back on it. Guys could see the vision of it. Doing things with energy, that's always going to be a battle, no matter whatever your style of play is. Running, keeping your pace, running for somebody else. Sacrificing running, getting to your proper spacing. All of those things are really important. But we have a lot of guys that have that ability to attack and get downhill and get into the paint and make plays. And we've wanted to lean into that, even if probably on the outside people didn't think that, we had that many guys that could do it. But they're sharing the game, so it's not it's not total ISO ball where, it's a million dribbles of somebody, watching somebody, go to work. They're helping each other get to that game. Thank you.